What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the U.S.S. Voyager tour episode. I'm Zero Elite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And I'm doing things a little bit differently on Voyager. You're going to see me doing this on all my tutorials going forward. Well, I probably will, but we'll see. But I'm going to be doing my tour videos before I put the tutorial series out. This way you can see what you're going to be getting yourselves into before we even start it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, I am expecting to do a second season of Voyager. So when we get on the inside, I don't want you to get discouraged when you see that there are some areas that I haven't worked on. This is by design because I didn't want to do too much in the first season, because my whole goal with doing this is that I want to be able to put out more content for you guys. And I feel like the best way that I can do that is by splitting my builds up into seasons. So basically what would happen is that we're going to let Voyager Season 1 play out. If you guys want me to do a Season 2, which will be the full interior and maybe some loose ends here and there on the exterior, you need to let me know in the comments section. I need to hear that you guys want to see a second season of Voyager where I fully flesh this thing out. This is going to be a great way for me to determine if I need to do more on a build or not, or if it's the exterior is just a one and done and then we move on to the next one. But still, with that being said, you might be surprised when we get on the inside. I got more done than you're probably thinking. But let's talk about the outside before we even get on the inside. I'm just going to be honest. Voyager was a challenging build to do. There was a reason why it took a little bit of time to get this out, because I'll be honest with you, after I lost my save file on Minecraft, I got pretty salty, and I didn't play Minecraft for a good 6 months. And after that, I slowly started working on Voyager, and I had some issues with it in the beginning trying to get it right, but eventually I was able to get it down pretty good. The one area that I'm just going to be upfront with you that I never really got it the way that I wanted it to was the upper part of the saucer right here, how it curves down, and then on the backbone. I think my version of Voyager, I mean, while it still looks just like Voyager, it's a little bit sleeker than what it should. But with that being said, I'm actually very, very, very happy with how she turned out. I did pretty much almost everything that I wanted to on the outside. There are a couple of things here and there that I didn't get a chance to do, like the underside right here for the lower part of the saucer. But like I said, I'm almost certain that a Season 2 will happen, so we'll see. But with that being said, if you want to see it, let me know. But anyway, the saucer section, let's start off with this. I mean, this was a challenge because I ended up having to use 2 different oval templates to get this right. Because one of the things I learned with building Voyager is that her saucer, looking at it from a top-down view, is not a perfect oval. It's maybe a little bit closer to an egg shape from the top. When we get into the tutorial series, I'm going to show you guys my troubleshooting process and what I did to figure this out and get around it. That was one thing I had a little bit of issues with. And then the curve on the side of the saucer. But you know, with everything, after everything was said and done, I don't think she looks bad. I think she actually looks pretty good. There's maybe a couple of things here and there that I could have done a little bit better, but I think for me the most important thing is that when you look at this ship, does it look like Voyager? And I think that's a big yes. I think that she looks awesome. There are a lot of things that I'm really, really happy with how it turned out here. The lower side of the saucer I'm very happy with, even the upper side. All around, this ship just screams U.S.S. Voyager to me. I even got the windows here, how Voyager has oversized windows on the sides. Now, for those of you that are really paying attention, you're probably not going to notice I don't have the one going at an angle in the front. That's actually one of the things I was going to be saving for Season 2. And this is going to be another reason why I'll have a reason to break my builds up, because with that specific window, I want a little bit of time to think about what I'm going to do exactly to get around that. And I didn't want to hold the tutorial series up anymore. So that's why I just kind of decided, I'm like, well, maybe there's going to be one or two things on the exterior that we'll save for season 2. Another thing that I want to point out that I thought that was really, really cool, I'm actually going to pull it up so you can see which one I'm talking about. But the mangrove slabs, the half slabs, that's what I used for the red backbone here. Now, the only thing I don't like about them is that when you get really, really close, you can see the texture on them, and it kind of bugs me a little bit, because really what I want is just that flat red. But when you start to zoom out, it's not really a big deal for me, and you can't see them. It's really only when you get in, but it gives you that pinstripe that what you're looking for. One of the things that is missing from the saucer is the hull lines. I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that. I have a couple of ideas on things that I'm thinking about. What I was actually thinking about doing is taking a top-down view of Voyager, and on the computer trying to put it on a pixel grid to see if I can develop a template based off of that. And let me know in the comments section if you have a way around this, because doing the angled lines, that is something that I still have not figured out a way to get around that in Minecraft. So that's why you're going to notice that there are hull lines everywhere except for the saucer. But other than that, I mean, I think that she came out great. We've got all of our circuit board panels here that Voyager is known for. These little black strips here, that's what they're supposed to be. We've got them on the front of the saucer, right behind the bridge, and then also on the lower hull. I'm actually really, really happy with how this bridge turned out. When I first started it, it didn't look like this. And when we get into the tutorial, you're going to see I don't spend a lot of time working on the bridge, but my first go around, it didn't look exactly like this. This is probably one of the nicest exterior bridges I have ever done. I could not be happier with it. You can see we've got all of our detailing here. You can see I took a couple of minor liberties here. I threw in a couple of the white concrete as opposed to because the build I used the block of quartz. But like right the strip here in the front, I used the white concrete. And that's just to give it a little bit of color. That's going to be another variation that you're going to notice with my version of Voyager, is that she's not gray, she's actually white. I did this so that I could take advantage of the half slabs, because otherwise I would have been using the stone slabs, and I thought that would be too dark for Voyager. It wouldn't have given me what I wanted, so I just made the decision, like, you know what, I'm just going to make her white and just figure out a way to make it work. So I really tried to make a point to add in some of those extra hull lines and those little details here and there, like the airlocks here on the side. I gave them red doors, or maybe red, well, not necessarily doors, but the red pinstriping on each side of the doors, even on the lower hull. And I just did that to give her a little bit more color. But I think that she looks fantastic. One of the things I didn't get a chance to do that I'm still toying with on if I want to do it or not is I was thinking about bringing the deflector dish back a little bit. Instead of having it just be flush with the outer hull, I was going to make it a little bit more 3D. And I haven't fully decided on if I'm going to do that just yet. We'll see. That's why, like I said, it'll be a good thing to have these split up into 2 seasons, so that this way some of the things that I want to work on, I'll have time to think about it, so this way when we come back to do the second season, we'll really be able to knock it out. And one of the things I did with Voyager, and you'll see there are some things that I need to do for season 2 on the lower hull, but I'd say for the most part, other than the belly, the lower hull is done. There's a couple of details that I still need to put on the belly, and then also the very bottom of the saucer. But other than that, I've done all the detailing that I need to do for the underside. And I've probably done more detailing for Voyager than I've done for most of my other ships. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I did this build just how I do my other ones. I found a 3D model of Voyager, and that really, really helped me in fleshing this ship out. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice that's a slight variation between my version of Voyager and the one in the show is that the impulse engines. On mine, they're flat. On the one in the show, they go at an angle. I had actually tried to make these out going at an angle. But no matter what I did, it just didn't look right. And I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it, but this is just one of the things that I've run into when I build on Minecraft. Sometimes when you take a complete 3D object and try to translate it into pixel art, sometimes it doesn't translate the best way. At least that's what happened for me. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's impossible, that it can't be done. It probably can. There's probably a better builder out there that can do it. But just with my attempts with it, I wasn't able to do it in a way that I was happy with. So that's why I just went with just a flat cut. Um, yeah, and even the engines here. The one thing with the engines, I will say that I'm torn. I feel like they might be just a hair too big. But then at some angles, I look at it and I'm like, well, you know what? No, it looks just how it should. Um, there were, and you'll see this when we get in the tutorial. One of the things that I did make, and you're going to see, we're going to spend some time on it, is the outside belly of the lower hull. I want to say Voyager's probably lost about 35, 40 pounds since I started working on her, because when I did my first initial outline for her, she was a lot heavier on the sides. And then when I started to go back and looking at my 3D model, I can see that it wasn't fully matching up to where it needed to. So that's one of the things I really had to get right. And then one of the things, I won't say that it was super hard to do it, but blending the saucer section with the neck was a pain in the butt. This area right here, this part right here, I don't like it. But you know what? There are hull lines on Voyager that kind of match this angle, but it's a little bit further back. So I just kind of came to the conclusion that, you know what, that's going to be a hull line. We're going to leave it at that. I did try to blend it in more right in here, but when I added more layers, it just didn't look right. So I just decided to leave it. Trying to think what else I want to really talk about here, at least as far as the interior goes, or the exterior. And then, of course, you know, getting back into the shuttle bay area, I will say that I was not fully satisfied with the outline of the outside of the shuttle bay, but I'm happy enough with it for right now that I'm not looking to make any changes to it right now. I know that I'm not fully happy with it. I just don't know exactly what I want to do to fix, to make it look better than what I have right now. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the rest of the build was not difficult to do. Just really the getting the shape of the saucer correct, both the top-down view and then the side view. And still, from the side, I don't think it's 100% perfect. If I had to critique myself on it, I'd probably say that I'm maybe like 90% there, but it's not. It still doesn't fully have that arch that it really needs to. But it's close enough that I can live with it, put it that way. And then the sides of the lower hull, that was a pain. Other than that, the rest of this is not really going to be too hard to do. And it's not like it'll be hard. I got you guys, and I'll show you everything that we're going to do to make this build happen. Just saying that it wasn't a super easy build to do. It ended up being just a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. That's why I say, like, every single build that I do in Minecraft, they all have their own set of challenges, you know? But one of the things that I'm actually excited about with Voyager is that I feel like I learned a lot from doing the layering on the saucer section, and I'm excited about that because I'll be able to apply what I've learned from building Voyager for like a sovereign class. So those of you that have been asking for the Enterprise E, whenever I do get around to doing that ship, I feel like I've gotten adequate enough experience with the saucer for Voyager that I'll hopefully be able to do it just a little bit better than what I did with Voyager. I think I've kind of rambled on about a whole bunch of stuff here, but we're going to get into the interior now. Now, like I said, you're probably going to be surprised with the interior. I've done more than what you're probably expecting. Now you're going to see we've got our primary shuttle bay, which is old Voyager hash, just the primary. And I pulled screenshots up of how the shuttle bay looked, and that's really what I went off of. This left wall here, I just kind of came up with my own design based on what I had going on with the room, because I couldn't find any screenshots of this area right here specifically, or the ceiling. I did find concept art online. I don't think it was for the class that Voyager was, the Intrepid class, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was for another ship, but I just kind of used that to inspire me. Now, one of the things that I did do with Voyager is that she's got 2 levels on her shuttle bay, because this is actually supposed to be an elevator. When you come down here, this is where all the shuttlecraft will go. Now, I intentionally did not build this room up. I stopped because at this point I was like, nope, I don't want to go too heavy into the interior, but I wanted to build this room out with my shuttle bay so that I knew what room I was dedicating for this portion of the build to see what else, I'd have to work with after that. But, definitely a unique feature for the ships that I've put out so far. And that's one of the things, I've really tried to achieve. I've tried to do things differently each time around so that this way we're not building out the same ship over and over and over again. One of the things I did do too is that the skulk vane. I use skulk vane for paneling here because of how it lights up. I don't know if I'm going to do this on all my builds. I'm just kind of trying it out for Voyager to see how it looks for like the side paneling here on walls. And then what I also did was I added it for the control panels too. I don't know if I'll keep it. I think it looks pretty cool though. So I'm kind of leaning towards keeping that. You can see up here we've got our shuttle bay control room. And I've just got it in the basic setup right now because like I said, Season 2 is primarily going to be the interior. So if there's anything else that I want to do with this room, then I'll be doing it in Season 2. And that's pretty much it for the shuttle bay. So now we're going to make our way to the rest of the ship that I've built out. You can see I've got my automatic doors. Made a point to have them on Voyager. I know that I had a cop-out by not having them on the Enterprise D, but we do have them on Voyager. I plan on adding them on this door too. I'm going to try to add them on almost every door that I need to have them on. But definitely looks cool. One of the things that I really love with this design, I'm actually really happy with how the corridors came out. I won't say that they're perfect, but they remind me a lot of Voyager, especially with how they have the lighting up top here. It looks pretty good. And I can see I made a slight boo-boo right here. I need to fix that. Otherwise, it's going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to fix that right now in the tutorial or the tour video. I'll come back and finish that off camera, but that needs to be going with the cut line. We're going to pop outside, not the ship, but the areas that I've worked on so I can show you guys what I've done. So pretty much what I've completed for the interior for Voyager is the shuttle bay. And then I did the turbo lifts, a corridor that takes us from the shuttle bay up to our main corridors, or excuse me, up to our main turbo lifts. And I've got a main corridor up here that will take us to the bridge and what will eventually be our circular corridors. I didn't build out the circular corridors just yet. We'll do that in Season 2. But the ship isn't massive, but with that being said, I still think that there's plenty of room to do everything that we need to do on Voyager. I'm pretty happy with how this build turned out, all things considered. And one of the really nice things is that when we start adding in our interior, I made a point, we're doing our windows that they match up with our decks. So that'll be really cool. So we'll be able to convert these into crew quarters and whatnot, and we'll have the space that we need to make it happen. So we're on our main corridor. That will take us back to the lower section of the ship. We go down this way, up our turbo lift. Now, bear in mind, the facade's not completed for it yet, except when we get up top. And then we've got our bridge. Now, I'm not fully set on the bridge for Voyager, but I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Some of you are going to be like, well, continuity-wise, the bridge didn't have those 2 extra seats. I don't remember if I had 1 or 2 for the Intrepid class. I could be wrong on that, but I know I didn't have 3. I added 3 just to make it look a little bit more complete, because otherwise I would have just had half slabs here, and I tried it with the half slabs and I didn't like it. But other than that, I mean, when you look at this, I think, again, the main thing for me is when you look at this room, does it feel like Voyager? And I think that it does. Now, the one thing I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do is the space that I've got on the sides. This side here should technically be the conference room. and then the side over here would be Janeway's ready room. I don't have enough room to make that happen. So I haven't fully decided how I'm going to get around that. I've got all this space back here. There's a couple of things I could do. I could either stretch out the exterior on the sides to make it a little bit bigger, or I could just make a pathway back here for all that. This is, again, one of the things I'm going to be saving for Season 2. So if you guys have an idea on what I should do here, let me know in the comment section. Definitely love to hear from you guys. But that's what I have so far, and this is what I have in store for you guys with Season 1. Hopefully you guys will be really excited about this, and if you think that this is a good thing for my channel as far as what I'm going to be doing going forward, putting a tour up before I put the season out to give you guys a really good idea of what I'm going to be getting y'all into, let me know in the comments section. Because like I said, you know, I'm still somewhat new to doing these tutorials, so I'm trying to learn better ways of doing it. And you guys give me a lot of great feedback. I don't want you to think if you're giving me constructive criticism I don't listen. I do. As long as you're nice, I will listen to anybody. It's just when people are not so nice, I'll mute you and never worry about you again. Which unfortunately there's some people like that on YouTube. But I've been very, very blessed that there's been some really cool people that I've come across, and then some people not so much. But those of you that have been really nice to give me constructive feedback and stay with me, you know, I appreciate you guys. I'm doing these tutorials for you, and specifically everybody that requested Voyager. That's something else I wanted to bring up, that Voyager is the first community requested build that I've done. Well, technically, Enterprise D was, but Voyager was the first one that we voted on, and that's pretty cool. Now, one last thing, I'm not going to really do too much with the Enterprise D. I did show it a little bit. I'll do a separate video on that, but some of you might notice the scale is 100% perfect. Voyager's slightly bigger than what she should be. There's a reason behind that, because after I lost my save file, I decided that I'm done playing Minecraft on Xbox. I have moved over to PC. That's why my render is so intense on here, that I can go back so far, and even like a big build like the Enterprise D, you could still see it, because we're playing on PC. But long story short, Voyager was the first ship that I built. I probably should have started with the Enterprise D, but my heart hadn't gotten over losing that save file at that point, and it wasn't until Picard Season 3 came out with the finale of it that I really decided that rebuilding the ship needs to happen. And when that, I did get to a point where I had the shell, or at least an outline of the full exterior done, that I realized that Voyager was slightly bigger than what she needed to be. So basically what I'm going to be doing going forward, Voyager is just going to be her own thing. She won't be within scale of any other ships that I do. But after that, I'll scale all of my ships based off the size of the Enterprise D. But I think that's it. That's everything I have that I really want to talk about today. I'm excited to see what you guys think. I've been working on this for a little while, and I've been looking forward to getting this out for you guys. Today's Tuesday, the 18th of July. So this weekend, I'm going to start editing videos together and doing the commentary so we can start the tutorial next week. I haven't 100% decided yet, because I don't know if it's how intense it's going to be with work, but I'm looking to have 3 episodes out a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But you guys can expect this coming weekend, I'll have my videos pre-uploaded, so that this way you'll have my schedule for my next 3 videos, and I'll have made a decision what my schedule is going to be. You can also go under my Discord when you go under YouTube schedule. I'll have my updated schedule posted on there. And if you haven't, you need to be sure to join my Discord, because there's a lot of great things going on with there. It's the best way that I have to get in touch with the community. Anytime I have any type of announcements, I can put them up on my Discord without having to put a video up. I have my polls that I'm doing. When I have enough suggestions that I have for a build, where I'll do a vote to see what ships people want me to do. I have my build suggestions tab, my community builds tab, where you can come in, you can post your own builds on there. I also have an extensive library of all my past builds on my Discord too. So a lot of cool stuff going on with the Discord, but it's still something that's growing just like the YouTube. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for me today. I just wanted to get this video out. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments section. Also, be sure to let me know that if you want to see Season 2 of Voyager. If I don't get anybody asking, I'm not going to do it. So if this is something that you want to see, you need to let me know in the comments section. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for me today. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. And I hope everybody has a happy and safe week. And I'll catch you in the next episode. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section.